whatever it is.
And we're live!
Excellent. And who are we? I'm James.
And I'm Joe, and we're just a couple of procrastinators.
This is productivity and procrastination.
And I'm Joe. And we're just a couple of procrastinators looking to get productive.
That's right. That's what we are. You've come to listen to this.
And we're working on Project Pancake.
Yes, we are.
And I'm Joe.
And what episode is this, Joe?
And you're James.
Yes, I am.
This is episode 19.
Excellent.
Whew.
All right, we got through that. Look at how
that was flawless,
forceful, and great that opening was. It was like, I know you guys think to yourself, gosh, they rehearsed this stuff. I mean, it's so smooth.
It's clear they have it all together. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of having it all together, Joe, how have you been this last week?
Like shit.
What are you munching on?
So, don't attack me, but I've been quitting buying cans of soda because it's expensive. And so I go to Maverick now and buy fountain sodas because it's cheaper.
And this is cheaper?
Yes.
And how many of those do you buy a day?
I get refills. It's
so
cheaper
multiple?
for the refills.
Multiple. Okay. All right.
And so they also have really good breakfast options. This like lumberjack bowl.
Oh, so this savings that you're getting is now
the saving money is become more expensive. But I'm having breakfast, so and that's the most important meal of the day.
That is the catchphrase. Oh, and now the importance of the meal is somehow
directly correlated to me. Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was. Here I was thinking it was a waste of breakfast.
Waste of money. Yeah. Nope, definitely not.
Okay. Well, it was tasty, this lumberjack meal or whatever that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Like really tasty.
Well, you see, the implications of lumberjack meal to me makes me think that you're going to do some real manly work here, Joe.
I am.
Because you need all that lumberjack material.
I need all that lumberjack energy.
So, what logs are you going to split? Let's hear it.
The logs we're going to split are the ones that are backlogs of work that we haven't been doing.
I like where you went with that. Okay. The backlogs of work. People out there, do you have backlogs of work also that you want to get done?
If you do,
this is the episode for you.
Go to Maverick and get their lumberjack bowl. It gives you lumberjack energy.
Well, I prefer the chainsaw personally.
They have a chainsaw bowl?
I used chainsaw for the first time in my life this last month, and man, it's a great invention. Oh, I tell you. Back in the day, before chainsaws existed, if I was an axe, dude,
rock?
we had my trusty axe, okay?
Yeah, sharpened stone on stick,
like Abraham Lincoln days or whatever. We're chopping wood, and
in the 1500s.
some dude comes up.
You chop it too.
Abraham Lincoln was not in the 1500s. He was in the 1700s,
In
right?
1592, Abraham Lincoln sailed the ocean blue.
When was the stinking Civil War? Was it 1850, somewhere around there?
100 BC.
Oh, okay. It was that long ago. Great. Well then, anyway, when they bring the chainsaw out for the first time and like rev that sucker up and just chop through wood like a hot knife through butter, I'll tell you, I would be sold. I'm like, oh my, wow, it's a great invention. Anyway, yeah,
Nice.
thanks. Yeah.
And this is brought to you by DeWalt. Get your chainsaw now.
What the heck? You can't just say it was sponsored by a major corporation. We had
What
sponsored by what corporation? All right. Anyway, he's lying. He's
I'm
a
lying.
liar.
There's
Look at
no
that hair.
sponsorships. It exudes lies. The hair does.
Oh, all right. Well then, so.
My week was terrible.
Oh.
Well, almost all terrible.
So
Not in, like,
why?
Not
Why
in
was it terrible?
existing wise. My week was fine existing. I just, for work wise, we had a hard time meeting up to, well, we met up. We did a good job meeting up. That was
Yes,
not
we
the
did.
issue. The issue was instead of working, we met up and did other things that are not working.
Oh. Yes. Said thing would be video games.
Oh shit! Was that the thing we did?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So,
It was so long ago.
our problem lately is that we have like a community now of people wanting to play with us.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you even say no to multiple people?
So it's like
It's hard.
and this happened with my brother, and he had apologized for it in a YouTube comment. We'll get to those comments in a moment, because there are comments on our YouTube videos now.
Oh yes. You have
So he had
comments.
mentioned that at some point he apologized for, like, I had wanted to make a Dark and Darker video, and he apologized, and I had mentioned that I didn't end up making it because my brother asked to play and I went and played with him instead. And it's not as much about like they are in the way. It's just another excuse not to do what, like, our work or something that we don't want to do, something that's out of the norm.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. It is just another excuse, isn't it?
It's a strong one too, because it's like you feel like you're letting this person down, when really, like, if you told them, hey, I want to work on stuff, they'd be like, okay, cool. Or any good friend would be like that, at least. If you have people that are like saying that your time is theirs, that's, very manipulative.
Yeah, I would say that it's like you want, when you say, oh yeah, I can't play because I want to get stuff done, it's like, well, the other person's like, well, couldn't you have got that thing done like some other time? Like, why does it have to be the exact moment?
No,
that
I
you
never think.
would've?
Do you think that when people ask these things? Because realistically,
It depends.
if someone
like,
was told me that, I'd be like, okay, well, go ahead and do what you need to do.
yeah, unless it's like they had asked you,
Oh, yeah.
like, to get the game or something, and then the moment they get it, like, they play for an hour, and then, sorry, I've got to get my life in order now. I can't play with you this weekend, even though it's
Right.
the only days off. Like you did to me.
What? And what?
WoW Classic.
Oh, I didn't like the WoW Classic.
Yeah, well, just saying that's the exact scenario that happened to me, Joe. Just saying.
Well,
We got to our first dungeon. You ran it once, then you left. You're like, gotta get my sleep in order. Yeah, that's right. I harbor ill will towards that moment.
you know what?
This is your
gonna
time to
say-
come clean about it.
I'm gonna come clean about it. WoW Classic's boring.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess that's the answer.
Now, I do want to mention that just recently there was a spark of interest for me in WoW Classic
Oh,
in their official hardcore servers that are coming out.
oh, that is cool. I wondered if that. I heard something about hardcore, and I thought, oh yeah, but that's not official. That's something stupid.
Yeah, it
So
says
it's
some stupid
official.
thing. Now it's going to be an official thing, which I mean,
That's cool.
I shouldn't I shouldn't do it because it sounds like it's kind of I mean, it's an MMO. It's going to be a time sink and I already have so many things that I'm sinking time into. I do not have time for
Eh,
this.
eh.
But it is very very tempting.
That is tempting. I have to admit, dungeons are going to be like, you'll never go with
Mortifying.
anybody you don't know.
Oh, and they've implemented a new thing where you can duel to the death. Yes.
What? Wow.
Yeah, that's mortifying, isn't it? Could you imagine killing another
So,
character?
oh wow,
Like that's it.
dude,
They're done.
that's that's gonna get a lot of views,
Oh yeah,
like
that's gonna be
on Twitch.
content.
Oh, people are gonna.
Oh my god,
That's
could you
gonna.
imagine?
That could actually help WoW out a lot. But anyway, so now that we're going to talk about productivity in some way, we are the masters of procrastination.
That is our definitely we are if there was a skill level in productivity and procrastination, it'd look a lot like this.
You know, and hopefully you're examining your own life when you listen to our pathetic attempts of getting productive. Um, so you said something about comments.
Well, I
think
want to
we
go
need
back to I want to finish
discuss.
our
Oh,
I want to finish I did a bad week. Um because we ended up getting distracted by perceived necessity to play with other people that was basically driven by our want to already play the game. Like it's a twofold attack. It's like, oh, I don't want to let this person down by not playing with them. Oh, I also want to play the game. And so because of that, like our 6 o'clock meetings turned into like essentially just gaming. And so it's like,
well,
go ahead.
well, I was thinking, do we have to log in, like, in such a manner where people see us, or we just basically have to say, "Hey, man, we're working."
I
Yeah,
think
no, we got to be able to say that.
yeah, we need to be able to be upfront and just be like okay with it and like just be straightforward. I think being straightforward and honest spares feelings more than like hiding.
Right.
Cuz it's but it's not like it's not as simple as oh hey, just don't play that night and don't say anything. Because there's this like we've been playing every day up to that point for a good length of time, so it's like there is that slight expectations, okay, I'm going to play tonight too. And so in that situation, it's definitely best just be straightforward, honest, and yeah, I think that's just the best course of action. But that's the hard part is like breaking through that barrier of a saying, "Oh, I'm working on something I can't play tonight." So that opens yourself up to like, "Oh, what are you working on?" And then you might not be ready to be like, "Oh, here's what I'm working on," because you're scared of whatever. So, it's a woof.
Yes, it
There's
is.
a lot of levels to it. But yeah, so it's been a rough week. Although last night I broke a barrier, and the barrier was actually drawing something on page 2. Because I've done other drawings. I did this fish lady that I've been working on, and she's really cool. I say fish lady, it's a mermaid. But I don't know. It was a rough week. I need to reprioritize my hopefully getting some stuff done while I'm working. So hopefully I'm more productive at work, because I think that would be really helpful. Just like in the time that I'm spent at work. Like if I could also direct some of that energy into art, into these other things I want to accomplish, like that's so much time. And my job is brain dead simple. So it'd be easy to do. It's just like when I'm at work, I'm like I just want to pacify myself, and then I get interrupted like every few minutes, like with calls and things I have to do, and it's hard for me to get in and out of that state of getting things done.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. That's what I wanted to talk about. As far as goals I got done this week, what about your goals? What'd you do?
I just
We talked all about my week. Tell me about your week.
I basically did a bunch of photo shoots, and kept up the work week, getting stuff done kind of mentality. I worked on my yard. I'm decently now in the mood where, Monday through, you know, Monday through Friday or whatnot, I'm kind of in the mode to get stuff done for the majority of the day. There is game playing at the end and sometimes at the beginning because I'm my wife to get up. But I've been decently just getting work done. In fact, the other day we worked in the afternoon, and then after that I wanted to work at night, and so we finished up a shoot that we've been working on then. So I feel like I'm in a good mode to just get work done. Now I just need to transition into getting work done on my own stuff and not collaborative business stuff.
Right.
So but the mentality is the same. That's why I've been using it in this way. It's like, okay, as long as I can be in the mode, then I could just change tasks.
Right.
We'll see how that works. I'm hoping this next period of time I'm going to try just sitting down and starting writing. Maybe in the morning when she's not up, I'll just start writing in that period and not be on games, and see how that works out for me, and then see if I can make a pattern out of it for this next week.
You want to write that down?
Sure. All right. And so we have a task to look into right now.
Yes. There's one more thing I wanted to discuss. Not that I'm trying to distract you, but there's just so many things that I've been thinking about. It was hard. It's hard getting back in the groove. We talked about you a little bit about this last night. It's hard getting back in the groove after that 3-week hiatus we had. Like,
yeah,
that break really stalled our momentum.
Mm-hmm. It's hard when something is fun,
Mm-hmm.
but you create that It's so easy to create these habits of playing games
Oh yeah.
and then breaking them.
Yeah, because
Um,
it's fun to play them, and so like, why was your brain's like, why would I stop doing what's fun?
yeah, but I mean, my personal goal of being able to just sit down and make writing into what I do, um, I'm slowly making strides. It's
Mm-hmm.
just I know this game playing has stalled that a little bit. I'm still making progress. It's just not as advanced of a progress as I know I would be already on if I just never started
Right.
playing.
It's like we need to figure out a way to make video games a reward. Well, I don't know. Because if we make them a reward, I want it to coincide. I want them to be one and the same thing. I don't know. This is hard. Anyways, basically, I need to. So, what'd you put down on your list, on your goals?
I put down a pattern of writing. I
Okay.
want to have a pattern of doing my business each day. Even if it isn't each day, I want a pattern, and a pattern is more than one. So
Right.
we'll see how that works.
Okay. So I accomplished all but one goal last week. And I feel like my one goal was a little unfair. My one goal was finish page 2. Because I hadn't even started page 2. So I don't even know what it was going to be. So instead, this week I put work on page 2, an easy, achievable goal. And then I did draw other stuff, which I did last week. I got a calendar set up with like my timing and stuff set up so I can keep track of like my appointments. Well, not appointments, but like the times we want to hang out and that type of stuff. I can organize that better. Um, and so I think that's a good start for this week. And I did one other thing last week. Let me see what it was. It was, oh yeah, meeting with James. And we met up. We definitely did that. But just not for the right reasons.
Right, it's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start.
Do we want to keep trying to meet up? Because ideally, the idea is that, like, if we're meeting, the idea is that we're working. And it's a way to both be working either A, on the
Sorry,
same
I
project,
pulled
or
my
B, at the same
headset
time.
out of couldn't hear anything you were saying for the last 15 seconds.
Oh, did you want to still try meeting up?
I would say yes.
Okay.
But I want to propose that we try to meet up more like right after you get off work, like 4:30. I know you have to go get food and all that stuff, and I'm thinking, well, what if we incorporated, working in that time frame? So maybe you could eat while you're kind of decompressing a little bit, and we're kind of getting in the mode of work. And then that way, when you're done with dinner, maybe work a little bit can be accomplished for a little bit, but you'd still be able to decide whether or not you would like to play with friends or things like that, because we kind of something to kind of transition between not getting together and getting together and doing work. I don't know, just a thought.
Right. I do like the idea, and if I was living alone, I think that would be fine. But with the setup I currently have, I don't have a kitchen, and so I pay my friends extra money a month to make dinner, and so I get dinner with them. So they basically like they make the dinners. And so when they make the dinners, I typically hang out with them and talk with them while I'm eating. And so it's like,
Gotcha. I didn't know that was your
if
situation.
yeah, it would feel rude if I do it sometimes where I take my food and just bring it up here because I want to do something very specific, but I don't like that I don't want to make that the norm because it does
Gotcha.
feel rude.
All right. No problem. Didn't know that. All right. Well, then let's kind of push that aside. Say, hey, for now, let's try to meet up
Yeah.
at 6, and we'll go from there. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So okay, so I've got my goals, you've got a goal you're working on. And I think at this point, as long as we've got goals that we're working on and we can cross them off, I'm worried that yours aren't easy and achievable. What is your
I
like minimum
don't.
threshold for achieving this?
2 writing blocks.
Okay. I think that's fair. I think that's very fair.
That is a pattern.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool. Do you want to read some comments?
Yes, let's read these comments, and then
Okay.
I can give my thoughts too.
Okay, so some of these comments are not going to be in context, so we won't know the context of them, so we're going to just have to wing it. But
right.
the first comment was by Ugg1337, which happens to be my actual real life brother. He says, I would have to agree to disagree on the. So this is on the first episode, on the first pancake idea. For example, when I look at comics and it shows if the plot is trash or if the pilot is trash, then I won't be as enthused to read or watch the next episode. I understand getting the ins and outs of mechanics with the first draft and getting more familiar with the process of the mechanics that being the basic upload, downloading, distributing. In my opinion, these are all things anyone can do. All the things anyone can do. The things I feel need to be focused on are the things I feel like need to be focused on are the ideas, the plots, the art, everything that is specific to your minds and your skill sets. So originally, I'm gonna go on this and then you can do your spiel. Originally, the idea was that. Are you able to see the comments?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Originally, the idea was that Pancake was supposed to be this thing that we didn't really give a crap about, and we got it out, and we weren't even planning on selling it. But our brains can't help but take something and make it fun and make it interesting and make it good. I mean, we consider good.
As good as it's possibly. You know?
And so it's I agree that the idea is that we're basically trying to get something under our belt, something that makes us comfortable, something that pushes us forward, even if it isn't the perfect product that we want to make. It's
Right.
something that gives us that momentum to move on to the next project, or maybe even funding for our next project. And
Right.
so we want it to be fast. We want it to be something that we can just get out there because we
Quote
could spend
unquote fast.
Right. Yeah, yeah. We could spend 8 months on, or 8 years. Let's do that one instead. 8 years on something else and finally release a perfect product. But realistically, your motivation's going to be gone halfway through. We realistically need to push this farther along faster than we can, like faster and faster to actually get it out. And so we have that momentum. We have that, this is how we do this. We know how long this is going to take on average and really push through it and really be able to use that momentum to get a second project done. That's the idea of the first pancake. And I think it's a good idea, personally.
Well, he commented on, I want the ideas, the plot, the art. I would have to say there has never been a case in my life where I've had to care about the plot, ideas, skill set, and art of anything I've ever watched or decided to watch. So I don't see the relevance there. I mean, maybe there's a type of person that researches people's ideas and such before they decide what to watch. I'm
What do
not
you?
one of those people. I don't read the back of cases of movies or whatnot and decide whether or not I like the plot. I look at the cover and the title and I want to know nothing. That's what kind of person I
Oh,
am.
yeah.
The less I know, the better, because then my mind can just have fun with it.
I think he meant specifically for us. He meant that our focus should be on those things rather than trying to get something out as soon as possible.
Well, as for what this whole thing is, this podcast that we do here, it's about the journey. It isn't necessarily about the product, because it's about the people. You know, it's about who's listening, and we're not talking about their product. We're just trying to give them the journey of people struggling with getting things done, so that they can actually look internally and go, okay, here's two pathetic human beings trying to do things. Am I doing some of these, mistakes that they're doing?
I mean, and we call ourselves out on a lot of those mistakes, like a lot of those like mental traps, and we try to dissect them, I think, in a way that is more real than just, oh, pull up your bootstraps and get your work done.
Right. Yeah. No. So, but I mean, I can understand, he's trying to maybe help make a better product, for him. But I mean, I doubt, anybody who actually buys or looks at whatever we create, I mean, come on, it's the first one's about a pancake, a living pancake. The plot has nothing to do with it. I mean,
It's just a silly little. It's like it's silly, and it's supposed to be, and it's gonna be quick, and it's not gonna be very long, and it's gonna be a process for both James and I on just the entire thing. And so it's like
a little hokey, little janky, and that's okay, because
it's okay.
I want to know, how does all this work together? Once we have a project done, then it's about, okay, we see the whole thing now. We've been through the cycle. How can we repeat that faster? How can we potentially, turn this next project into something that maybe could be a trilogy, or something that goes onward.
right.
But, and yes, you could focus more on the actual meat and bones of that, and just get it done, nose to the grindstone. But we're examining the intricacies of how we don't do those things.
Yeah,
Almost,
because it's hard to do those things, and we're trying to figure out why. It's hard to just sit down, and that's the thing. We're examining life that is full and how we fit this into it.
yeah. And I mean, if life completely stunk, sometimes it's easier, but it's only easier for a time. Anger and like, oh, I had a really bad day at work, that can carry you for a day. But I've found it doesn't carry me into changing my life, into it. That process is taking longer. I do have the end goal. I want to get stuff done. But life doesn't completely stink right now. I do enjoy it. I am enjoying it. Um, I don't have a lot of stress, so I need to find a way to want to do the hard things more often, um, in a timely fashion. That's what I need to have.
Yep. Okay. On to number 2, unless there's anything more you want to add.
No,
Okay. You say yep or no?
go ahead.
Okay. He says, I like the idea of incorporating your goals into your everyday life so it becomes part of the normal routine, making it a bigger part of your life. I absolutely disagree with Bic pens. I got them when I was in school, and maybe 2 of the 20 actually worked. And they are trash in my experience. I feel like Joe has something to motivate him on his notebook, and I think it would be maybe you need to find something, a picture, a quote, or something that motivates you to write/draw.
All right. So first of all, I have a big pen right here.
I do too.
I don't think I could count on one hand how many times a Bic pen has not worked for me in my entire life. And I've used a lot of them. I think he's full of it. I think he's lying almost with that Bic pen. I will stand by that product to the day I die. All right. Next.
So Bic pens, I have no opinion yet. I don't use them enough. I don't draw with pen. I haven't been drawing with pen recently. I've been doing pencil, so I don't have a good reference here. But I still have them. So most of the time, I just scratch my ear with it. Anyways, yeah. So incorporating goals in your everyday life is really good, and I do think it comes down to really making them easy, achievable goals. Like make it something that you can accomplish after doing something else, like a side thing, like a little morsel of accomplishment that you can get by crossing it off because you've done something to further your life or further your goals. And I think that's what's really strong about this process, is really focusing in on easy, achievable goals.
What I've been doing lately is not easy and achievable. It's long, prolonged, hours and hours straight of just doing things that I don't like. But what I've found is that it's changing my mindset when it comes to like video games, and the things that I enjoy are very, very dopamine kind of hits, very quickly, very frequent. But when I'm doing these longer projects, outside, I'm cutting down my tree. I'm, burning my branches once they dried out, I have to sit out there for a long time each time, making fires, doing, yada, yada, chopping firewood, or, cutting firewood with my chainsaw, baby. And it's, I sit down, in my chair, just watch my fire, and I start thinking, trying not to put on, like music or anything like that. I'm just trying to think while I'm doing it. And in just observing myself over these periods of time, it's like I can see real change over periods of time, and it's changing the way that I'm experiencing my the harder tasks, the longer tasks, the more boring tasks. And I really think I'm starting to get addicted to the change when I do these things. Like, oh, the next time I go out in my yard, my tree is visibly different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a long-lasting scenario. Like, my one tree is now gone. It's just a little stump. Like with the photo shoots, each 2-hour block is like, oh, I did that many different, pictures, and I only have this many to go, this many sets of various shirt options or whatever. it's not a fast dopamine hit scenario, but the longer lasting results in my mind, I'm starting to feel positive things from that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's starting to be more addictive than the dopamine kind of responses, because it's like it's like a dot, you know, it's like a damage over time thing. It's like I do these tasks and it carries over into the next day, into the next moment that I walk in that area, into the next, you know, time that I think about it. It's different, and I'm really starting to enjoy that. And I think that it's slowly happening where I'm enjoying it almost more than I am the little teeny tiny dopamine hits.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if any of that really, if I've said it in enough of a way that you
I think
understand.
so. What you let me try to summarize it and see if I kind of got your gist. You're finding that longer, more like bigger changes in your environment seem to be really like be a big driving force for you getting things done, and it's felt rewarding to get these like actual changes around, like you can see like visual changes.
The visual changes, yes, it's easier to get the rewards more often in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
But even with the photography and getting so many, you know, pictures done each time, it's because there's a pattern that's starting to happen for me. It's just, it kind of almost feels the same. It's like I feel the same way about doing my photo shoot now for a few hours as I do with, you know, cutting down some limbs and chopping them up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like the bigger tasks are becoming more rewarding as I continue them now. The bigger chunks of are helping. Yeah,
Do you have any idea on how you could translate that same energy over into writing? Or
yeah. Well, my theory is it's exactly the same. Now that I've done the yard work scenario and translated that into the photography scenario, now I'm like, well, this is just the same thing, but with I can just do this with writing too. I just need to do. I, it's it's it isn't that it is the same. It's that I'm constructing it in my mind the same. I'm like telling myself doing things for longer chunks are are the same, you know, reward as doing the yard work. So the photography felt the same as doing the yard work. So now I want to do more of the photography. And
mm-hmm.
then now I'm like, okay, well, since the photo shoot stuff felt the same as the yard work, now I'm going to say that the writing is going to feel just like the photography. It's all kind of, I'm training myself in a way to just have it be this way.
Okay.
So
I'm kind of
I'll
curious
see
to
how it
see.
goes.
Yeah, keep us updated because I'm actually really curious about this. Because I mean, we have to. I mean, this is a learning process for both of us, like on how to motivate ourselves from being procrastinators into being people who are productive.
I don't
And
know if you can make a note of that question because I'll probably forget. Like,
um,
if you can maybe write down, like, hey,
I'll send it to you in a
ask
text. That'll help
James.
remind me.
Okay.
I worded it weirdly, but whatever. As long as we kind of have the idea. Um. So, yeah, that's really cool. We'll have to reach out next week and see if that how that felt, and if those longer tasks are getting you that same feeling. specifically with writing, because that's the important one too, right? Like that's your number one most important goal, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it is.
All right. Onward to the next one. It says, really sad to see Diet Pepsi over Pepsi Zero in this video. Sad face. Honestly, if you put Diet Pepsi and Pepsi Zero next to me, I'm gonna pick Diet Pepsi because I think it tastes the better. But if you weren't to if you were to like fill up Diet Pepsi cans with Pepsi Zero, there's a strong possibility that I wouldn't even notice.
I feel like you're probably right.
And then I feel like the calisthenics workout is a good idea, but there's too many distractions at home. Like once you get to the gym, you basically have to work out because you know you're wasting time if you don't.
But you don't have to get to the gym either.
Yeah, that's my issue. It's like, so it's for me, it's about ease of access. It's about what it takes to actually get into position, because I need to ride these like moments of, oh, I want to do this. And sometimes it's not enough to overcome the, oh, let's get, presentable, go to the gym, like get in my car, find all my keys, put all my stuff together, go to the gym, and then work out. There's typically not enough like energy there. But saying, hey, Alexa, open up calisthenic workouts on Netflix. Like she'll do that for me. And that's it. That's all I have to do. So it's a lot easier for me to just do I basically like the ease of access. And it's something I've talked a lot about. It's just like, same thing with the notebook on the desktop desk. It's all about, for me, it's about making it really easy for me to accomplish the things I want to accomplish when I want to accomplish them.
Barriers to entry.
Barriers to entry, yes. I'm not sure what this one means, but there's no context, sadly.
Oh, no, I know what he's talking about there.
Did he say it sarcastically like bad? What do you mean?
He did say it sarcastically like bad. Oh, so when at the very end of whatever video that was,
Episode 2?
I said something like sarcastically. He said it sounded like sarcastic, but I think I said that it wasn't. Well, in my mind, it wasn't. But I agree, it sounded sarcastic.
Oh.
So, what do you do with that?
That's funny. Okay. Can you elaborate on one of your videos which you may have caused? There's like 17 that I can see, which if you disregard, but could you elaborate on what you mean by different styles for the same character? Also, what's going to do for you, or why is it a goal that you would like to complete? Because for me, it's about, I don't know exactly what kind of like style that I'm going to love yet, like with my art. What kind of style that I'm going to want to be like, okay, whatever I draw, this is going to be the default, what I want it to look like. The different, like the shape languages, the colors, that type of stuff. The issue, like, so I basically want to explore different styles and pick and choose from different things and make my own, like my own creation. Like for me right now, I'm not caring too much about a style as much about realism until I'm comfortable with like anatomy, making sure that my forms are make sense in 3D space, and all sorts of stuff. To me, that's the most important thing right now. I'm not working about style, but it's not something I shouldn't ignore. And so something that's one I want to work on is like practicing other styles and that type of stuff with the skills that I currently have. And so that's basically the reason why I wanted to draw stuff in different styles, is because I think it'd be good practice to like learn other styles and like absorb other artists' information. And this is the one where he talked about he apologized for playing solo. No, it's, again, it goes back to goals, and it's like it's easier to push off goals when there's someone else that you perceive will be disappointed in you, or disappointed and sad if you don't play with them. This one's a keep it simple, stupid, which I think is, oh yeah, just break. This is the episode that I really, really liked, where it says, don't break your goals down, break off a piece of your goals. And so this is probably like, keep it simple. Make your goals easy and achievable for like long-term big project goals. I think having these achievable, easy goals are important, or at least achievable, like concise goals. Just also thought on how you could practice writing is like get a random word generator and get like 3 words and then work them into a story. That'd be a fun little exercise.
I've tried doing just kind of like concept prods or whatever you want to call them, and I just don't like it. I'd rather just open up a blank page and just start. Have no idea, and I usually come up with something that sounds like I thought about it. So I don't know. I don't like doing it. I feel it's for me. I'd rather, if I'm going to spend the time writing, I might as well write.
Yeah.
But it isn't writing that is the problem. When I sit down and write, I can write. Just continue. It's getting into the flow where this is what you do, and that's really where I'm trying to get at. It's not like I need an idea generator or anything like that. It's I need to make this into what I am, and that's what I'm trying to do right this moment. And I just need it to happen. And I think, the whole bite off small little pieces, keep it simple, stupid, all that stuff helped me up to now. It's like, yeah, just doing it is neat and cool. But there comes a time when you have to realize, for me anyway, this is what I'm realizing, that in order for me to, it's easy to brush off keep it simple, stupid check boxes. It's easy to go, well, it's just a small little thing anyway. I'll do it next time. It's easy to just bat those away. What I need to have is my pattern of who I am. I want it to be someone who just does large, big chunks of time things in what I want to be. That's what I do. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now, is just basically change myself into somebody who just loves to work for large chunks on what I do. I'm tricking my mind right now to get into that, but I also know what I'm doing to my mind. And I'm allowing the process to work. And I think it will be very difficult for me to not continue it, because I'm starting to get addicted to the larger results of the time that I'm working. And so keep it simple, stupid is not working for me. Mm-hmm. I think there comes a time when you get past that and you realize that in order to be a success in what you want to be, you have to start to enjoy the process a lot. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I'm very curious. I want to see. I want to see this, like how this, like where this goes, because I'm actually really curious on like how we need to adjust our criteria on like goals and like setting them, because we're both learning on like what works for us and what doesn't and everything like that. So I'm excited to see how this pans out and like how it goes. Because yeah, I mean, having more tools under our tool belt, that'll be awesome. Okay. James is a giant peach. Correct. Oops. It was a Field of Dreams quote. James, come on. If you build it, they will come. So, fun fact. I will, and purposely, mess up quotes. Because I'm a monster. I just think it's fun. I think it's fun to mess up quotes and say the wrong thing, and to me, it makes me happy.
I like that movie quite a bit.
Yeah, it was a good movie. I remember liking it when I watched it when I was like 12 or something.
Well, I made my daughter watch it like a year ago.
Oh.
She
You have a
had
thing
that-
about making sure people watch specific movies.
Yes, just like I need you to watch the original Conan with me.
I think you meant Snoreman.
What?
The sleep Barian. Okay, so I think, let me do a refresh to make sure we're not missing any comments. Yep, we're Gucci. We got all them comments. But yeah, so this is what happens when you leave comments. We will go through them and either make fun of you or answer them in earnestly.
We'll try to be cool with you.
Yeah.
You know.
I think we were pretty respectful. I think we were nice.
Hey, everybody has their opinions, right? And we do too.
Pens. You just held up a pen. Well, all right. So we've got our goals, right? We've got, I've got my easy achievable goals. You've got your achievable goal. We've got Diablo 4 to play. We're going to be meeting up around 6-ish every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I think that's fine. I think those 4 days is fine.
Okay.
Makes my life easier because
Sounds good.
On the weekends, my life is chaos.
Understandable.
So I think we're good unless there's anything else you want to add.
No. I'll let the listeners extrapolate this data into their own lives.
He just dropped the
Process
pen
it.
like it was a mic.
That's right.
Pen drop. Do you have any fun quips to send us out on?
Me on the fly fun? No,
All right.
I'm not.
The title of the episode will be, unless James X-nays it, James is a giant peach.
No, that's
Thank
the
you for
dumbest,
watching.
stupidest.
Goodbye. You guys are wonderful.